the next pillar is qualify. Now, the very first sort of structural thing that I suggested to you was to have at the core of your sales pitch, which is really the topic here today, is to use good probing questions. And so we recommend a two-step qualifying process. Step one being pre-qualifying, which is what you do when you're out there networking. When you're networking, I know networking is a real big lead generation tool in the insurance industry. And so when you're networking, these are great. You should treat that the same as that very first box on the sales process. You have about 2 to 5 minutes to work with. Now, you can end up talking to someone for longer at a networking event, but what I would say is that you've progressed through that stage to the second stage, and what you're having there is you're having an instant meeting. I personally think actually if you're at a networking event, you should always move on to find other people to talk to and save that meeting for another day. So you close that prospect on, hey, I want to talk to you more about this. Let's meet over coffee, or let me come by your office, and you close the next stage, and then you move on so you can continue to generate other leads. But the point here is that it's in that very 2 to 5 minute stage that you use your pre-qualifying questions. It's in the next stage that you might ask, you do like a deeper level of qualifying, which is really finding out details about let's say you might want to find out if the person you're talking to is the ultimate decision maker. That's not something you need to find out in your pre-qualifying. That's what you do in step 2. Meaning, I don't need to know if you're the ultimate decision maker in order to know that I want to schedule you for an appointment. I'll find that out in the appointment. It's in that first step that we want to ask pre-qualifying questions. So let me talk to you about how to develop your list of pre-qualifying questions. We've kind of gone through this workflow where we started with a product that led us to some benefits, that led us to pain and common problems. What we can do to really develop an optimum list of questions is let's look at those pain points. For each pain point, we should be able to come up with at least 1, 2, or 3 probing questions. So if we know that a key pain point that we help to fix is it can be difficult to design and implement successful cost containment programs, a good question to ask when we're out there calling, looking to find if people fit in the right quadrant of the people that we're trying to talk to, is how much of a priority is it for you to implement new cost containment programs? If we help to fix that, it is complicated trying to figure out what the best alternatives and options are, regarding benefits or healthcare or dealing with Obamacare, whatever. Then a good question to ask is, how confident are you that you have a complete understanding of what your options are in the area of health and welfare? These are just conversational probing questions, and if you design them right, you can't really say yes is positive and no is negative. I mean, if you get the answer that fits, then this means, then one is you might start a really good little chat going on, but you're also pre-qualifying this person to be somebody you should invest your valuable time with. It's very conversational. It's less of, let me talk to you about me, my company, my product, and see if I can sell you what I have to sell you, right? So this helps to diffuse a lot of those assumptions we put out there in the beginning. I'm a real fan of crawl, walk, run. So you could develop a list of 3 to 5 to 10 probing, pre-qualifying questions that work for everything you sell and deal and fit with everybody that you sell to. If you really want to get sophisticated, you could create different campaigns. That's also something that SalesScripter helps you to do, is if you can sell insurance to individuals and also to businesses, those are going to be 2 totally different campaigns, even knowing some of the products are the same. So when you go through these stages, the value is going to be different for an individual versus a business, and that's going to lead you to different pain points, and that will lead you to different probing pre-qualifying questions. So the crawl stage is, let's at least get some of these points together, and then the walk and run stage is going to be having a different campaign for the different audiences that you sell to. And by the way, SalesScripter allows you to do that real easily, because when you flip, you can have your individual campaign, your businesses. Maybe you have a campaign targeting a particular vertical, like high technology companies or manufacturing. And so in Sales Scripter, you just click on the campaign you want, and all of your documents automatically get filled out with the key questions for that particular audience. So it really allows you to have a buyer persona focused messaging and to flip between those, at the flip of a coin. That's something that can make you perform better if this is all for you. But we really hit a home run when you're talking about teaching all of this to an entry level either insurance agent that might work for you, or maybe having someone do appointment setting for you. We if you have these tools in place, it can make delegation and training and onboarding drastically shorter, and then that person ultimately more successful. Let me show you how we can incorporate pre-qualifying questions into some of your sales pitch. I've been showing you some segments of a call script. My favorite call script is I throw my value statement at someone, I soft disqualify them, and then I jump right to asking 3 to 5 probing questions. So the reason why I'm reaching out to you is I work with VPs of HR and show them ways to lower their and control their benefits expenses and costs for their employees. I don't know if you need what we provide, but that's why I'm calling you with a question or two. If I could ask you real quick, and then I ask them a couple questions. How the methodology works: if I ask you a couple questions, and if you give me really good answers to those questions, that's what I call a ding 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 moment, and I'll go for the close right there. Like I ask you 2 questions and you say, yeah, that's a concern. Yeah, we haven't done anything in that area yet. Oh, okay. Well, that's why I'm reaching out to you, because I'm with Insure You, and we actually are a full brokerage providing full coverage solutions. And I talk just a smidgen about me, and I go for the close. We can also incorporate pre-qualifying questions into our email template. So this isn't this is kind of like a last-ditch email. I wouldn't really lead with this one, but this is an email template that includes your pre-qualifying questions, and so you can take a look at that. I personally think your pre-qualifying questions is going to be one of the best ways for you to respond to objections. An objection that comes up all the time is, just send me your information. Hey, yeah, sure, I'll certainly send you over some information so that I know exactly what to send you. Do you mind if I ask, what are you doing to assess the health of your employees? And I'll ask a couple questions. In most cases, the prospect will answer that question, and that'll give you an opportunity to either ask another question. It might give you an opportunity to extract some valuable information from the prospect, or it might give you a reason to close for the meeting. So pre-qualifying questions are great objection responses.